TU academia members. So I think that at this stage, and concerning the reason why we're in Prague, I think that one of the reasons, main reason, is certainly this Czech Technical University. And I would say that I could commend this faculty for its excellent high-level radio engineering department that I'm able to check on a daily basis with one of the faculty alumni, Attila Matas, that is working in the space service department. So I think that you really did a great job with some of your alumni and with Attila. And then I was thinking, okay, right now I know why we're in Prague. Certainly it's because of Attila and because of his relationship with the university. Please, don't misunderstand me. I know that when discussing with Attila, I understood that once upon a time, when he was an alumni there was only one country. Okay, so I will stop here any political reasoning. I don't want to say anything. And I understood that for any reasons, Attila, which I haven't understood if it was Czech. No, he's not Czech. Slovak. But then he said that he was from Hungary, Hungarian border thing. So I said it's too complex for me. But having said that, sorry, I just stopped with that. But no, I think that certainly, if we're today in Prague, it's certainly some reason from Attila, but particularly for the excellent relationship with the university academia and all the team, which is led by Professor Boris SIMAK, that ended with an agreement and an invitation by the Dean, Professor Rybka, to organize this symposium and workshop. And I think that for that reason, I thank them all, and I think that it will be really something great to be in Prague. Well, just to finish my speech, I hope that you will learn a lot during those 2 days. Not only on international laws, regulations, procedures related to small satellite, launch, operation, service, but also you will learn a lot by discussing all of the challenges faced by the satellite industry, especially those inhibiting whatever challenge that is inhibiting the fast development of market and effective competitions for all satellite industry. I would say, as being the chief of space service department, I've always been quite biased in terms of whatever service that could be offered. I don't understand why all services are not offered through satellites, and that we have to share bands with terrestrial colleagues. Okay, we have to do it, but it's just because I'm biased. And I think that certainly during those 2 days, we have a lot of opportunity to discuss. One thing is the symposium is for you. When I say that, it's, well, do not hesitate to use it as a platform and opportunity for networking among stakeholders and in the industry. And I hope that in this regards, the outcome of this symposium will pave the way to address the issue and properly plan for future actions, including certainly plan for ITU activities and any plan that will strengthen and promote the industry at all levels, and particularly for the small satellite business. Just to close my remarks, I think that there is an important thing when we are talking about satellite and when we are talking about telecommunication services, and then I will go beyond, in fact, my short views on satellite only. I think that we have to think carefully how all of us we can continue to use and improve, I would say, all of those technologies, telecommunication technology and particularly satellite technologies, and fair access. When we are talking about satellite technology, any fair access to the orbit and spectrum resource at the international and at the national level, and we have to take all that into account to help connect the unconnected and make the world a better and a fairer place for all. One thing also, before finishing, I would invite you, and there will be information about it during the day and particularly at the end of the day, to visit the interesting poster exhibitions where you will learn a lot also about all of those projects which are going on. And just before finishing, and that's certainly one of the reasons why we are in Prague there, let me just say a few words about somebody that I wouldn't like to embarrass at all, but I would like to say that who has with us in this assembly also today, one of the youngest space regulatory veteran, which is Mr. Richard Rivola. And just to say that I thank you for his presence there, and the fact that whatever we are working on now in terms of these international regulations, this person was at the origin back in the 60s, 63 and 77. So having said that, I thank you very much for your attention, and hope that hopefully you will find those 2 days very useful. And don't forget, it's a meeting for you. Whatever question you could have on ITU also, please do not hesitate. Attila is there, Joachim also, and I'll be pleased to respond to any question. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. HENRI, for your very nice speech. And for ITU Academia, I would like to invite Mr. Boris SIMAK to present his welcome speech. Mr. SIMAK is the chief of the Department of the Telecommunication Techniques at the University of Faculty of Electroengineering. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Mr. My boss, dear deputies, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, I'm very glad to have opportunity to meet with you in Prague. As a member, we are active in cooperation with ITU starting from 2009 that we was active on telecom world, and also we cooperate in different area. Now we are an academia member in 3 regions in ITU R, T and D. From this year, we are also Center of Excellence ITU in area of cyber security. It's a big pleasure to be in a nice community and also to help us in teaching and also in research. This meeting in Prague is also very important for maybe for our academy and maybe for us. It's first meeting when I'm able to say, or first symposium that meet the people from ITU, member of ITU, from people from industry, from universities, from academia. It's a big opportunity to solve some important issues here to discuss, and also some maybe conclusions and remarks will be very useful for next maybe work in your community around the nanosatellites, and also, as was mentioned here, in VRC 2015 that was organized by ITU. I wish good stay in Prague, good maybe discussion, and to have possibility to create good links between each other. I hope that the stay will be good, also the weather, and it's my big pleasure to invite you on the social meeting that will be held in the Brewery Smíchov this evening. Thank you, and I wish good day. Also, I must say very good, say some words about Attila Matyáš, that as was mentioned, is our student, but I am not prepared to show your diploma and maybe how was a student. I hope that was very good. And I would like to say that it's not only student on the university, but is radio amateur and also work from this collective station on our department. The station is working still, and it will be my big pleasure to invite radio amateurs to show this place from which the Attila was or realized some connection through across the world. Yeah. Thank you. I wish nice stay in Prague. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. SIMAK. And now we do have a keynote speech ahead of us, held by Professor Kai-Uwe SCHROGL. And please allow me to introduce Mr. SCHROGL shortly before his speech. Professor Dr. Kai-Uwe SCHROGL is the head of the relations with the Member States Department in the Directors General's Cabinet of the European Space Agency, ESA, headquartered in Paris, France. From 2007 to 2011, Mr. SCHROGL was the director of European Space Policy Institute, ESPI, in Vienna, Austria, the leading European think tank for space policy. Prior to this, he was the head of the Corporate Development and External Relations Department in the German Aerospace Center, DLR, in Cologne, Germany. Currently, Mr. SCHROGL is the chairman of the legal subcommittee of the United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, the highest global body for space lawmaking comprising 73 member states. Kai-Uwe SCHROGL is the vice president of the International Institute of Space Law, member of the International Academy of Astronautics, recently chairing its Committee on Policy, Economics and Regulations, and the Russian Academy for Cosmonautics, as well as corresponding member of the French Air and Space Academy. He holds doctorate degree in political science and lectures international relations at Tübingen University, Germany, as a honorary professor. Sorry. Mr. SCHROGL, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for this kind invitation. I can use this one. Thank you. Or I shouldn't. Okay, good. Thank you very much again for the kind invitation, and thank you very much for the invitation to speak at this event. Thank you, the hosts, Mr. Deputy Minister and representatives from the Czech government, also from the local host, from the university, and the representatives from ITU. Now, we have heard that Prague is a wonderful place to meet. It also has, in the course of the next months, big scale and important events. This one in particular, then the World Championship in ice hockey and others, and I put that in the right order of magnitude. We also heard about the great sons of the city, which is one line Kepler, I would say, then Einstein, and then Attila. This is the genealogy of Prague, and I fear that Attila will have something to tell me in the break. Now, let me say a few words about space law, since I'm speaking in my capacity as the chairman of the legal subcommittee of the United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, of space law, and the use of small satellites, in particular in view of maintaining sustainability in outer space. Now, if you intend to use outer space, there are limitations, of course, and there are issues and threats. However, we have to find, and we have so far found, a good way of regulating space activities so that really everybody who wants to use space can utilize space. However, of course, in the limits of rules and norms, but that we also have to see that in the near future and then in the midterm, we really have to find additional ways of maintaining sustainability in the use of outer space. I would like to focus on three issues, and you see it on the one chart behind me. The one is the freedom of use of outer space. The second point is the encouragement of international cooperation. And the third one is the requirement for the responsible use of outer space. Since the early 60s, the United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space has been developing the rules for outer space, the Outer Space Treaty, the Registration Convention, the Liability Convention, but also additional areas which have been regulated through resolutions of the General Assembly of the United Nations. In parallel, the ITU has developed its regime for the utilization of outer space,